What is poppin'? And already in the chat, we got a hum babe. Welcome into episode 57 of Cover Your Balls. And just like everybody wanted to know, were we going to have Dylan Myers and Nate Rearick back on? But look who decided to show up. Sam, the man, has shown back up for episode 57 of Cover Your Balls. Sam, welcome back after your 2-week hiatus.
Hey, thanks for having me. Real honor to be on the show.
You're a main host. What do you mean?
Absolutely. Just an honor every week I can come. Nothing is given, everything is earned. So, I got Dylan Myers on my trail. Nate Rearick, I'm still trying to catch Nate Rearick. I never will. Nate Rearick is a great man. Noah Dankin, glad to have Sam back. Thank you. The chat's going wild. Yep. Unbelievable love in the chat. So thank you all out there. Zone, K-Dog, great to have you.
Well, we have a lot of questions about you. We have a lot of things we need to talk about. You were gone for two weeks. And we'll touch on that here. But first things first, we need to welcome in our wonderful producer and head of graphics with a new backdrop tonight, Gianni Capuano. Gianni, how are we doing?
Hello. We are doing fantastic. Another great day of Cover Your Balls podcast. We're improving every single week. Well, this week we might have downgraded again. Sam's back, but
fighting words.
all jokes. But Mitch said something about it earlier. We're at 93 subscribers. So if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100 subs. So that'd be pretty cool. So, I'm excited to get the podcast started.
We'll do 100 subscribers special.
Yeah, we'll do a 100 subscriber special. Maybe a giveaway where if you are 100th subscriber, you get absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we'll give you a call.
Give you a call.
Should we do something, honestly? Like, if we hit 100 subs, I don't know, maybe we make like a t-shirt or something like that?
Or we could do that. I already have a custom-made t-shirt. It says Cover Your Balls in the front, and on the back it says hashtag the ball pit. Because that's what everybody watching this show right now is in.
Well, now this is for our longtime listeners. But did the lady who won the bracket challenge, did she ever get her t-shirt? What was her name?
She did not win the bracket challenge.
She won third place.
Correct. And no, because I actually did some research, and it appeared that it was a burner account, which all the account was used for was to submit in bracket challenges where you would win something.
Really?
Yes, I did some research on it. I was looking at all her tweets and everything, and she actually tweeted it at multiple different accounts, whether it was people or handles like we have here. We have our at CYB Pod.
Live Pod, baby.
Is the Twitter page.
I think I may know a giveaway winner from a previous Cover Your Balls episode, but for longtime listeners, and that's Suzanne Capuano. Shout out if she's watching right now. My mom won a giveaway prior. She's kind of an OG listener, so
she is.
Just saying.
The winner of the bracket challenge?
She was not the winner of the bracket challenge. She was the winner of the Kyle Nicholas episode.
Yes.
When we had Kyle Nicholas on, which, by the way, congratulations, Kyle Nicholas.
Yes.
Loyal. I don't know if he always listens because he's usually
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Sometimes
loyal baseball thrower. We could say.
Yes, but he can't be a loyal listener because half the time he's striking out anybody in the minor leagues. He was the league leader in strikeouts before he got promoted yesterday, and now when he's going up to the Wahoos, the Miami Marlins, the Wahoos.
The Wahoos. Wow, pretty racist if you ask me. So unbelievable.
They have the Wahoos, but we have to get rid of the Indians. Which, by the way, that before we get started here, apparently the Cleveland Indians have found their name. Did you see that report? The Cleveland Indians have come to terms on a name.
I didn't see that, no.
They have not. They will not announce what it is yet. Leaks, according to your favorite anonymous sources on Twitter, says it will be the Cleveland Guardians. So if it is the Cleveland Guardians, how do we feel about that?
Well, I hope that rumor's fake. I'm not a big fan of the Cleveland Guardians. It's pretty lame. I mean,
it's better than the Spiders.
I don't know. The Guardians? That's like when if you're playing Madden 03 and you go to create a team, like they have preset team names. True. That's like the Guardians are always in there. The Cleveland Blues, Cleveland Naps. I thought that we could have gone in many different directions. I don't think that's very creative.
The Cleveland Fellers, the Good Fellers. I liked that.
The Good Fellers.
The Good Fellers.
Yeah, that would. But in like 50 years, we'd have to change it again.
Probably.
Yeah, I guess it's for the fire. There's like some fire station across the street, or I don't know. My roommate was telling me something.
For the Guardians?
Yeah.
There's the Guardian of the Highway, which is the traffic guardian.
That's lame.
He watches over all the traffic in Cleveland. I actually wonder. I wonder if Cleveland has like a low traffic incident rate. Like collision rate. We should probably
I
make that
may
up.
become a fan of a different team if we're the Cleveland Guardians, to be honest with you.
Well, you were going to boycott the White Sox, but your man, G-Wagon Mercedes is
Cleveland
back.
Summer.
He had one of the quickest retirements maybe ever seen.
Yes,
man.
friend of the program, Yerman G-Wagon. Check out his Instagram, actually. It's why... this is bad radio, but if you're watching on the live show, maybe you'll enjoy this. I think it is, yes, why Mercedes 73. Now it's his profile pictures as well. It's
Wow.
a stock image of a phoenix.
It's up there.
Just something like this in a very, very long caption that I can't understand. I actually have to see translation. So congrats to Urban Mercedes. Mitch, huge news for the White Sox.
Huge news. I mean, one of the quickest and shortest retirements we've seen in a long time. Gianni, really quick though, before we keep moving on, what are your thoughts on the Cleveland Indians potentially being renamed to the Cleveland Guardians?
Yeah, Cleveland Guardians, I do agree with Sam in a sense that it is very generic. But at the same time, I just think it lacks a bit of creativity. I think it's just like a safe, it's just like a safe answer. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to see the logo, the design behind it all. Obviously, I'm a big design guy, big into logos, all that stuff, as we know. So I'm excited to see the branding. If the branding's really cool, I think it could change my mind. But I think it's just a very safe answer. For a complicated issue.
Tyler Egan in the ball pit making a late push here for
I
a
like
new name
that.
for the Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Constructions.
See, I don't like that name, but what I like is his logo idea. If we were the Guardians and our logo was a hard hat wearer and a neon vest, I'm all in. I'm wearing a yellow hard hat to every
That would be
single
if
game.
they were the constructors.
Yeah, well, you could say
constructions.
Guardians would be, I don't know.
Guardians aren't hard hats.
Hard
Look,
hat.
listen,
Well, what to do?
all I know
Guard
is
your head.
there's this is very simple. They play at Progressive Field right now. It's always going to be the Jake, and whatever they change this team name to, it's always going to be the Cleveland Indians, as far as I'm concerned. That banner right over here in the corner behind Sam is always going to hang. And if you're offended by that, then get the hell off our show. It's as simple as that. This isn't a place where I care about your feelings. Actually, fuck your feelings. If I offend you in any way in relations to sports, cry about it. Now, anything else, I'm not out here to hurt feelings when it comes to race, gender, anything that's a very sensitive topic. But if
Very
you're offended,
progressive show.
if you're offended by anything sports related, cry about it and go tell your mom, and then your mom will probably tell you that you're being a little bitch.
It's just baseball.
We can talk about failed branding, but I think a very successful branding is our team in the NHL.
Yes,
We're gonna bring that up.
yes.
I was seeing stuff on Twitter all over the place. I saw there was a big boat parade
Big
in
first
Seattle
splash.
for the the draft or whatever.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, let's wish them luck.
Yes,
Let's wish the Seattle Kraken good luck on their first NHL draft.
Pull the
I
logo
believe it
up.
is the
There it is.
23rd, the
We are-
24th. Let's go.
We are the Eastern representative of the Seattle Kraken.
Yes.
Saw the jerseys.
It pains me to say, Mitch Farnsworth, who's out there in the ball pit, he hasn't commented yet. He's at work. He was giving me crap last night. It's like, how can you hate a team that's not even played a game yet?
Right.
It's
Everybody has haters. Here's Narodenki. Team is trash. They
how
don't have a team.
they haven't even played a game
They
yet.
have a few players. I saw they made a great signing. The defenseman from the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know his name. But apparently a pretty good defenseman. So I'm liking the roster already. I don't know much about hockey, but every move they make in my eyes is a good move.
Well, and here's the other thing. They have Dave Hackstall as head
Yes.
coach. Phenomenal head coach. And anybody that says, oh, he was fired from the Philadelphia Flyers. Well, that's because he was in Philly. Tell me what Philly's ever been good at.
Well, we've already seen what Philly's good at, and it's tragedy. Nothing but tragedy.
Nothing but tragedy.
And cheesesteaks. So
And having a guy run up the stairs in a movie.
yes.
Yes, that's
So,
about it. That's all Philly's good for. The Philly special was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's a one-time thing. They'll probably never see
Right.
that again. Philly is the city of lovable losers.
Yes.
And Dave Hackstall got out of there just in time.
Yes, congratulations to Mr. Hackstool and the rest of the Seattle Kraken organization. I can't wait to see who we draft.
Yeah, I just wanted a quick shout out.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll touch on the Kraken as you hear the Kraken noise in the background. Just about as much as we touch on Noah Danke and his great sports takes. Just kidding. We don't. We'll touch on the Kraken when hockey season comes back in full swing. And I know Sam and I are did we already order our Stanley Cup Championship T-shirts 2022?
I'm actually about to place a bet tonight on the NHL, I guess 2022 NHL champions.
Yeah, 2022
Seattle Kraken,
would be it.
Great hoodies. Go on nhlshop.com/Seattle Kraken. Check out the new apparel. New jerseys are going to be sweet. Can't wait for the Christmas alternates. I heard they've got something special in store for us.
I told you earlier in the car when we were out, spreading the news about Cover Your Balls throughout Jackson Township,
Yes.
that I think Mitch Farnsworth also hates the Kraken because their team colors are colors that nobody's ever heard of before. Mitch and I are close, but I don't know if we're close enough to where I've ever asked if he's colorblind. So maybe that could be a trigger if he is. Like Todd Marshall, good friend Todd Marshall, all the way in St. Louis. He is colorblind. Colorblind as shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he wouldn't like the Kraken because he's never heard of these colors, and it might trigger him a little bit.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Jealousy is a hard thing to deal with. So our thoughts and prayers are out to Mitch Farnsworth. Mitch, I hope you recover well. But Seattle Kraken are going to beat whoever your favorite team is.
Well, you know what? Let's get right into it. Breaking news. I really hope you bet the over for the Indians and Rays tonight because the Rays are about to acquire slugger Nelson Cruz from the Twins.
Wow, and he's playing tonight?
Well, I just don't know if he's playing tonight, but I know he'll be in Cleveland this series, I would assume. So we are breaking news on Cover Your Balls, episode 57. Nelson Cruz, the 42-year-old that somehow gets better as age goes on after he was cracked and caught for PEDs. Make it make sense, people. Can you make that make sense for me? Like, has nobody even raised an eyebrow at the fact that he's still juicing? Because I've said it for 3 years now.
I think most people just accept it. I don't know. I'm a fan of Nelson Cruz. I think a lot of people are Nelson Cruz fans.
Dude got busted at like age 34, 35, and now the past 3 seasons he's putting up career numbers as he gets older. That doesn't make sense. He's on PEDs. He has to be. Anybody that doesn't think he's on PEDs is wrong. But now the Tampa Bay Rays get their slugger. Man, you talk about him and G-Man Choi. You put those two back-to-back in the lineup. Holy...
Imagine if they get Yerman Mercedes
Oh,
somehow.
my goodness.
That's a thick team.
They already have Yandy Diaz, too. You want to talk about
Could be the
thick.
thickest team in baseball if they pull off this move.
Thick with 3 C's.
Sheesh.
Well, that's going to change some things drastically. But hey, you know what? Before we open up the phone lines here in about 15 minutes, and before we get into more sports, Sam, you were gone for a couple weeks. And Gianni has some graphics ready for us, but why don't you fill the listeners into the ball pit about where you were and how everything went before we get to that?
Let's see, July 4th, I'd say about July 3rd, I packed my bags. July 4th, I headed out to Boston, Massachusetts. I flew into Boston Logan. I was promptly picked up from my friend Dave, taken to Barnstable or Barnstable. I don't know. I didn't ask. I think it's Barnstable, Massachusetts, somewhere out in the Cape.
Somebody in the ball pit, go ahead and research that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time out there. A very lovely area. I love Massachusetts. The taxes are high. And I was out there on July 4th. I felt very patriotic. I did Paul Revere's Midnight Ride. I watched fireworks on the beach, so I had a fantastic time in the Cape. I ate clam chowder every single day. It's almost like water with your meal out there. They just give you clam chowder with your meal. It's unbelievable. The clam chowder was phenomenal. I could do a whole episode on the clam chowder. It was that good.
Well, we'll refrain from that right now. Maybe that's a special edition episode.
Yeah, I think maybe 5 or 6, and I ranked them each time. Very, very enjoyable. If you don't know, my name's Sam Summers, and if you go out to that area, you can get a Sam Adams Summer Ale, and you just say, hey, can I get a Sam Summers? And they know what you want. So I love going to Boston. I do that all the time. It's the coolest thing in the world. Go ask for your name at a bar, and they're not going to know what you're talking about. Crab cakes. No, I didn't go to Maryland.
I was going to say, that's a Maryland thing.
This guy's a moron. Why don't you go look at a map, Noah Danke? God, I mean, seriously, go study geography once. I had a lobster roll. I had in clam chowder. No crab cakes. No crab
a lot
cakes.
of people in
Brandon
the
Ranke
chat.
sounds terrible. I have a lot of haters out there. Brandon Ranke was like, "Oh, brother, this guy stinks."
Yeah,
I don't get what your problem is, Brandon Ranke. Why don't you take a hike today?
He must be working out too much with his good pal Sam Chaney.
Yeah,
he must
right.
be doing that too much.
Yeah, Pete Lifts. Why don't you quick shout out actually to Pete Lifts on Instagram. Fantastic fitness account. Can't wait to give him a call later.
Yes.
See what he's been up to. Then actually, after I got back from Cape Cod, I worked 2 days. Undisclosed location I worked, and then I left Sunday.
Pretty sure you've said where you
Soft. Soft. Well, Sunday I actually left for a camp for foster children. So all of you out there who are hating in the chat, nice. You hate foster children.
You guys are pieces
So
of shit.
that's great to know. I'm gonna make sure your bosses find out about that. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And that was great. A great week of camp. Shout out to all the kids. Shout out to all the volunteers. Seriously, give your week, week of work, week of being with your family, whatever.
Right.
Nothing's given. You might die during camp, and that might be the last thing you do. So shout out to everyone who volunteered. Another great week. I love doing it. I love kids. I love foster children, especially. So.
Well, you know what? Before, I know that while you were gone, we did have an episode with Nate Rearick and Dylan Myers, and I thought they did a phenomenal job. Gianni, I think you'd agree.
Yeah.
So before you told me you rewatched episode 56.
I did, yes.
You told me you made some critiques. But before we get there, Gianni and I, you've been very active recently. And in real life, going to Boston and going, working at an undisclosed location, even though you've told us multiple times in multiple episodes where you work. We'll keep it undisclosed for this episode. And then, going to a camp with foster children, you actually ran into a dad I know who I coach his son.
Yes.
During the summer ball, Owen Atkins.
And Daddy Mac.
Daddy Mac.
He was able to call in. I couldn't believe it.
So that Daddy Mac out there, hopefully get to hear from him tonight. But you've also been very active on Twitter.
Yes.
And what we like to do here, and maybe we call this a new bit, is diving deeper into Sam and Steve's tweets.
Yes. Well, they're all Steve's.
They're all
so
Steve's.
Only Steve.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'd like to ask you, since you and Steve are a tag team, what you think about Steve's tweets. So let's go ahead, Gianni, and put up the graphic of some of these tweets that we saw and get Sam's thoughts.
Here's the first tweet.
Here's the first one. I'll tell you what, I love playing Skyrim, drinking kombucha, and reading autobiographies. I'm a changed man.
Yeah, I'm getting older in age. I'm a very old soul. If you know me, I'm not much of a. I guess I am a little of a party boy. I'm mixed with a little bit of party boy, but most of 95% of me, I'm a very old man. I like red wine, I like soft jazz, and I like reading books. That's probably what I'll do for most of my life. I tried kombucha, kombuchi. Not sure how to pronounce it actually, but tried it for the first time, trying to improve my gut flora as I continue to try to lose weight. I kind of enjoyed the gut flora.
Okay.
5K bet.
On Morikawa. Well, we'll touch on that. I know you bet on him. All right, Gianni. So we got the answer to that tweet. But however, before we go to the next tweet, do you have the screenshot?
Yes. The text screenshot?
Yeah, you're a changed man, but according to your boss at this undisclosed location, you're a terrible employee. You've been late the past 2 days and you forgot your badge twice. We would like an explanation on that now.
Like I said, that's all hearsay. A lot of rumors have been going around the terminal. Late? How can I be late when I don't have a specific time that I need to be there? I mean, late, that's just, like I said, whoever texted that about me, I believe his name is Kyle, he's a horrible
we didn't
boss.
blur out the names.
He's a tyrant. He spends his, he was doing today while I was hard at work,
Yeah.
he was golfing.
That's just unbelievable.
He was golfing. Sure, I forgot my badge today for the first time because I was so tired after work. I forgot that I took it out of my car. It was inside my house, and I immediately fell asleep. I'm trying to change the world here for the better. While this guy's golfing, calling me a terrible employee. I wish him nothing but the worst. Honestly, I hope his dog dies. So that's what I feel about him.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That is not, I didn't expect that one at all. Hey, you know what? All that matters, though, is you were on time for this.
Yes.
This is far more important than your job.
Yeah.
Right.
We are out here. We're supposed to be covering sports balls, but we're actually covering your tweets and everything else. We'll get to
Covering
the
my
sports.
balls.
We're covering your balls. We'll get to the sports here in a second. But you know what? Kyle also just doesn't even call into the show.
No.
So all I care about is to hell with Kyle.
Well, he won't even see this. That's why I said I hope his dog dies.
Right. He won't see it.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's too busy playing video games. They
Yeah.
called you to play video games. They don't.
Yes.
They aren't loyal listeners.
That's
to the ball
okay.
pit. They aren't Noah Danke or Brandon Ranke or Tyler Egan or Mitch Farnsworth or Anthony Core, who's out here in the ball pit tonight.
big balls.
Or anybody else that always tunes in. They're not that.
Great pit.
They're impostas. Is what they are.
That's fine.
Very
That's fine.
sus.
I love the ball pit. I love
Very
the ball
sus,
pit.
very
And I love Ash. So, Ash, I'm just kidding. I hope you
Yes.
don't die. I wish you well.
Honestly, Ash probably watches this more than
Yes.
Kyle does. Kyle,
Yes.
it's ridiculous. I tell Kyle to call in and give an argument. But guess what? Kyle's not paying attention. In fact,
Yes.
he's probably sucking at whatever video game
Yes.
he's playing right now.
Yes.
Trash.
Guaranteed.
Gianni, do we have another tweet before we keep moving on?
Yes, we do.
All right, another tweet here. One wrong ingredient can ruin the entire fruit salad. Hashtag daily wisdom. Hashtag food for thought.
Yeah, and actually I just got another like on that. So add 1 like if you're seeing that right now. Mental, add maybe 2 likes. 2 likes. I don't know when the screenshot was taken. But yeah, I was on the truck today.
1:03 p.m.
We
Yeah.
can't see it on our screen because we have the chat there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this is at 1:03 p.m.
On the truck today, I was like, what's something dumb I could tweet?
You know,
I was like, this was good.
Actually, in my opinion, I don't think that's dumb at all. I agree with that statement.
Oh yeah.
110%.
And you could take that to your real life. You know, you could have everything
100%
perfect.
Because, you know, I love fruit salads, and I have to agree that one wrong fruit you put in the fruit salad, if there's like, I don't care who you are, you know, if you don't like a certain fruit and that fruit's in there, then they kind of all taste like that fruit that you hate.
Right. Yeah. You know, someone's trying to jump on the fad train and add like cucumber into this fruit salad, or God forbid, a tomato. It's like, well, now you've just gone and ruined the whole salad. It was great. You
And
had
personally,
cantaloupe.
you know, this could be
if you add a tomato to a fruit salad, it becomes a vegetable.
Well, yeah,
fruit
it's not
salad.
a
It's not a fruit.
salad.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not a fruit.
Yes.
No.
Okay, well, this might be a hot take. I don't know, but I'm not a huge fan of cantaloupe.
I'm there with you. Preach, Gianni. I think cantaloupe is
Everyone
one of the
thinks I'm
worst
crazy.
fruits.
Everyone thinks I'm crazy,
one
but
of
I'm
the best
not a
melons.
big fan of cantaloupe. So whenever there's cantaloupe in a fruit salad, it all starts to blend. I just taste the cantaloupe. Man, I just want my grapes in there, man. I want the strawberries, like the good stuff, the watermelon. You know, you keep going. But cantaloupe isn't it for me. And when there's cantaloupe in fruit salad, I'm kind of turned off by it. And there always is.
Always.
If you go anywhere and there's a fruit cup, it's like 80%
That's a
cantaloupe,
staple,
and
though.
I don't know why.
That's a fruit salad staple. I would argue all cantaloupe. All cantaloupes matter.
Not in my book.
No.
We have
I
Noah
think
Danky saying orange slices in the chat. I don't want orange slices.
I
in
don't know
my
how
fruit
you. I don't know.
salad.
I mean, I don't want the peel.
Does anybody?
Maybe mandarin oranges.
No, I
maybe
don't
mandarin
think oranges
oranges.
belong.
Well,
Maybe
I don't
in, like,
think
a
cantaloupe
citrus
does
salad.
either. I think cantaloupe is a
I've seen
very
some oranges in some
terrible
fruit
fruit.
salads. I don't think that's too terrible. Obviously, you can't have the thing in there, but
the peel.
wait, what's this? Unsubbing from your YouTube channel for that comment,
About
Gianni.
cantaloupe.
Oh, God.
No
You
way.
know,
There's cantaloupe.
no,
in
That's
Mexico
Okay,
City.
you know, we don't need no dank anyways.
Well, you
If
know,
we-
it kind of upsets me, you know, because Noah was a loyal subscriber for the channel, and you know, I'm sorry we have different opinions on things, but you know, I hope we can move past that. You know, all my subscribers are loved, but I hate to see you go. I hope you don't leave.
Well, you know what? How about we move into the sports segment?
Yeah.
Gianni, do you have the other tweet that Sam tweeted out a few days ago that I sent you about the Milwaukee Bucks?
I do not have that
Okay,
one pulled
well,
up.
you know what? Let's start there. We have a
right
new
again.
NBA champion, and that is the Milwaukee Bucks, who defeated the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. Sam actually sent out a tweet and tagged the CYB Twitter page, guaranteeing the Milwaukee Bucks won Game 6 at home in Milwaukee.
Was an icy call out.
In front of the Fiserv Forum sold-out crowd and the 65,000, estimated obviously, outside the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The only part you missed is you said Pat Connaughton was going to have the biggest game of his life that night.
Well, I would argue a closeout game in the finals is the biggest game he's ever played in his entire life.
You didn't say play, and he said we'll have the biggest game of his life.
Right, and exactly. It was the biggest game of his life.
Generally speaking, when you say something like that, it means they're going to have some sort of impact on a game in a huge manner.
I would argue the latter. Anyways, you got 8 boards and 1 assist. 8 big rebounds.
Any points?
He was 0 for 4
Oh.
with 0 points. He played 23 minutes. But like I said, he had the biggest game of his life. I don't think he's ever played in a closeout game in the NBA Finals. That's a huge game for Pat Connaughton. So congrats. Congrats to Pat Connaughton.
Congrats to
the
Milwaukee
Bucks.
Bucks, though. And yes, Nico
Seriously.
Marchetti can get a hum babe in the chat. I mean, I'm not in the chat, though. So hopefully somebody out there in the ball pit can put hum babe.
Hopefully.
But let's stay in Milwaukee. What does this mean? Do you have an asterisk next to this championship, like some people say the bubble championship has, or you know, some people say the 16 championship has, because Draymond missed Game 5, but yet he was still there in Game 6 and 7. So once again, those idiots make no sense in that sort of argument. What does this do for Giannis?
I mean,
Age 26, he's only one of 3 to have NBA Finals championship, Finals MVP, and a Defensive Player of the Year award and regular season MVP.
yeah, I mean, Giannis is a living legend. I was definitely a big hater of Giannis, and so what it does is it just shuts all the haters up. I'm never going to be able to hate on that dude again. What he just did is absolutely incredible. When they're down 2-0, I mean, everyone in the world's already counting out the Bucks.
Yeah.
We just saw Giannis almost tear his knee a week prior. I think everyone counted out the Bucks before the series even started. Suns in 4, the hot train's rolling. They're up 2-0, and all of a sudden, you could kind of see it. So I was in the airport for all of Game 2. In fact, Detroit Airport, horrible airport.
What's Detroit good for?
Detroit's awful. My goodness.
What does Detroit have anyway that's good?
I had to spend over 3 hours of my life in the Detroit airport, and it was the worst 3 hours I've ever had. Honestly, there was no workers. No one's working at all. I tried to go to Popeyes, and it closed at 8 p.m. I was like, this is just ridiculous. This is an airport. Your Popeyes closes at 8 p.m. What kind of insult is that? Honestly.
That's Detroit.
Honest. And you could see it happening in Game 2. All of a sudden, Giannis just dropped 45 points. And it's like, well, if Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton or anybody could just hit a shot, like the Bucks they're gonna win this series. And all of a sudden they tied it up 2-0, and I mean, Giannis, incredible.
So would you say Giannis, I mean, if Giannis isn't there, the Milwaukee Bucks were left for dead, they get swept in 4, you know.
Oh my God,
Right?
yeah.
So isn't it funny though, because nobody's giving Mike Budenholzer any credit for coming back, you know, winning 4 in a row. It's just incredible. And then you have Danky out here saying, come back, Lou. But apparently when the Cavs came back, it was all Ty Lue, not like they had a guy named LeBron James or Kyrie Irving or Timofey Mozgov or Sasha Khan. You know, it was all Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue is terrible. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you say. Anybody in the ball pit that thinks he's still top 3 NBA coach, I mean, you're high.
He got all of his boys paid. I just saw a stat.
Well, yeah, he got to pay. Doesn't mean he's a good NBA coach.
It was a trivia question, and it was, who did the Lakers sign in 2016, a big man, to a 4-year, $74 million contract?
Mozgov.
Yeah, Mozgov.
Yeah, Timofey.
You know, Ty Lue's coaching got Mozgov $74 million. I don't think Mozgov played out like 1 full year of that contract.
I think he ended up in Brooklyn, didn't he? Wasn't he a part of that D'Angelo Russell trade?
He could have been.
I don't even know where he's at now. Hey, all that matters, he's a champion. He's on that poster back there behind Sam Timofey Mozgov. And all I'm saying is the Cavs are 1-0 in NBA Finals when Sasha Khan's on the roster.
They had some dogs on that team, Mitch.
They did have some dogs. Gianni, how do you feel about your doppelganger getting his first championship ring? And he did it the hard way. He actually came out, maybe threw some subliminal shots at all other NBA stars, saying he didn't need a super team. How does that make you feel?
You know, makes me feel great. You know, fellow name, you know, we kind of have the same name. You know, we spell it the same, but, you know, pronounce it a little differently. But, you know, I'm happy for the guy. He seems like a really nice guy. I saw after the game, he went to Chick-fil-A and tried to get free Chick-fil-A for life. You know, that's kind of just like a big baller move. He brought both of the trophies, and actually, not a non-shout out to Chick-fil-A. You're going to tell me you're going to have the guy who just won the finals come with both of his trophies in hand, and you're not going to give him free Chick-fil-A for life? I think that's kind of scummy on Chick-fil-A's part. Now, I do love Chick-fil-A. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah, that's.
I don't feel it. I don't like that.
I had Chick-fil-A for breakfast this morning, actually.
Don't get me wrong. I love Chick-fil-A.
You could have had an unbelievable, and it's not like Giannis is eating a ton of Chick-fil-A. He might, since he's what, 26?
He seemed like he really likes it.
And he works out like a freak every day. So I'd assume
seems
maybe,
like he really likes it.
Yeah, if you think about it, that's probably, all of a sudden you're losing like $15,000 every year because Giannis isn't coming anymore. But
both trophies, and you don't.
You got to do it. You got to do it. Johnny, are you getting the Giannis special 50 nuggets? I don't know if you got fries. Then he goes.
I actually don't. When I go to Chick-fil-A, I don't get nuggets. I just get the
guys.
original.
Here's the thing that everyone is just completely miscomprehending here. He got a 50 count of the chicken minis. The chicken minis are a breakfast item on the Chick-fil-A menu. They actually have that honey butter on the top of it.
Okay.
I had a 4 count of the chicken minis this morning. Absolutely delicious.
Oh, I love the chicken
nuggets.
And what?
You got the nuggets.
Chick-fil-A in general.
If you go back and watch the video, he ordered chicken minis. On the menu at Chick-fil-A, chicken minis are a breakfast item. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. And then his drink was no ice, half Sprite, half lemonade. Okay, but that's
I think though, you know, in conclusion, I mean, I think it's only right since we kind of share names. I'm gonna have to get a Giannis jersey.
I think you should.
I mean, I think
we
only
all
right.
should. I think you and I get Giannis, and Sam gets Pat Connaughton.
So is your name pronounced Yanni?
No, Gianni is the name.
Gianni.
how it's pronounced, and it is spelled the exact same way for Giannis, except there's a S at the end, obviously. So, pronounced a little differently, but I mean, I think it's only right that I get his jersey, being that our names are literally like exactly the same.
Yeah, I think about the Bucks win is like I'm really able to resonate with that kind of win for a city like Milwaukee.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the same. It's basically the same thing as the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the title. You mean maybe once a decade you see a small market team like that or a mid market team, whatever you want to call them, win the NBA Finals. So it's awesome. I'm a huge Giannis fan now. Nothing but respect for him. He truly is able to live out, the quote-unquote American dream. It's all Giannis. Don't get me wrong. Everything he's earned is because of him. But also,
you can't. I like him because he's one of those guys who's just like you can't hate the guy.
Right.
He's just seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, happy all the time, interacting with the fans.
I'd let my daughter date him if I had a daughter.
Yeah,
great guy.
Seems like a nice guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Selling T-shirts on the streets when he was 11 years old. I think he
Good one to bring home to mom.
started playing basketball at the age of 13. He's an absolute freak.
Never had a smoothie till he came over to the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, that was amazing. And, he never had a
baller
smoothie.
move.
That's kind of wild. Listen, flipping to the other side now, the Phoenix Suns, Chris Paul up 2-0 in his first NBA Finals, played well for the most part. Devin Booker, just an absolute no-show in Game 6. Does this say more about Devin Booker maybe not having the killer instinct that people want to compare him to Kobe? He came out and said, don't ever compare me to that again. He wants to be his own player, and rightfully so. I don't really enjoy comparisons when it comes to NBA because, like we know Michael Jordan played against milkmen and our post office guy, and LeBron James is playing against absolute just animals on the court. So it's just not fair to compare Michael to LeBron like that. Does it say more about Chris Paul or Devin Booker in the loss?
I don't know. I think it says it's really it just says more about Giannis. I mean, he's a transcendent talent.
Absolutely.
When it's all said and done, he's who knows what he's going to accomplish. I hate doing that, so I'm not going to. I'm a Chris Paul guy, I guess. I don't know. I really don't dislike Chris Paul, but they blew it. They really did. I hated that they had Scott Foster even refereeing the games with a stat line like that. Like I don't get that.
You knew it was over as soon as you saw that.
Yeah, it's like,
Scott Foster in the
what?
NBA is just.
They go up they're up 2-0, and then all of a sudden Scott Foster, and they lose 4 in a row. Like that just doesn't seem right to me.
He was the same guy when LeBron won his 2 in Miami. He was the guy. Crazy.
I don't know.
Was it in Game 7 in Oakland though? If I'm correct, he was not amazing actually. Amazing. Just pointing that out.
It's like too big of a stat line, like too many games for us not to raise an eyebrow.
Exactly. He if you guys don't know, Scott Foster is a referee who perhaps usually has the most controversial or favorable calls towards one team in the NBA. Go ahead and Google that if you don't believe us. I can't tell you the actual numbers, but it is proven. There's a reason everybody always points it out. So it's crazy. Gianni, over to you.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I'm going to ask you a different question.
What's up?
Will Chris Paul ever get back to the NBA Finals now? Doesn't mean he's going to be in Phoenix. It means he goes somewhere else. But will Chris Paul ever get back?
I think he's going to I don't know. I saw something on Twitter earlier. They were a Suns fan, and they were kind of sad because he thinks they're going to get back. He thinks he's going to get back to a championship, but not with the Suns. He thinks he's going to join a super team, which is definitely possible. I'm sad for the Suns. If you're the Suns, I mean, to go up 2-0 in the lead and then lose just 4 straight.
Better than 3-1.
Yeah.
That sucks. But yeah, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for Devin Booker. I really like that guy. I think he's a really fun player to watch, especially.
Mm-hmm. He's got to lose his girlfriend if he wants the title.
Yeah,
the Kardashian curse.
It's tough for him. I don't know what else to say about it. It just sucks all the way around the board, but you got to give it to Giannis,
Yeah, we got Brandon Ranke, CP3 going to the Lakers. Yeah, I don't think I could agree more with that. It seems like the only plausible move at this point for Chris Paul.
Anthony Core with a good comparison in the chat. I don't know if you saw that.
It's actually one of the best comparisons I've ever seen. Scott Foster is the equivalent of Angel Hernandez, who is an umpire in baseball, who's actually probably the worst umpire we'll ever see in our lives. Yeah, it's incredible how bad Angel Hernandez is. We should probably have we could literally talk about how many calls he misses for about 10 straight shows. And that would just be the most egregious ones he's missed. But
who's the Jim Joyce?
Yeah, that was just a tough one there. Armando Galarraga. All right, listen, the title odds have already come out for next season. The Nets are favored. I do believe the Lakers are up there as well, both ahead of, I believe, the Bucks. So, Sam, give me your way too early, 363-day too early NBA Finals champion.
My question before I answer that is: are the finals going to be in July again, or are we going to try to get?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're
June?
right, because we should be starting back to normal. They'll probably be in June. They'll probably be in June. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
So either way, are you riding with what Vegas has picked as the Brooklyn Nets to win the NBA championship? Are you taking the Lakers, the field? Who are you riding with here? And I swear to God, if you say the Cleveland Cavaliers because they're looking at Alex Caruso, you are so right.
I was thinking about saying the Cavs, but honestly, I hope they trade Colin Sexton. If we're being honest,
Please get Colin Sexton out of here.
I'm just gonna go. Right now, I'm just gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets. If they're healthy, they're gonna win the NBA title, no problem. I like to wait for free agency play out, but we'll go Nets now. And if I have to pick like a surprise team, like could they do it? I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks. I really think the Atlanta Hawks, I mean, they were, one or two wins away from NBA Finals, and they could have beaten that Suns team. I really don't think that Suns team was all that great. A couple big stars and some good role name players, but they have a ton of cracks in their foundation, and, that roster was very beatable. And the NBA is anyone's league at this point. Hopefully there's no, overpowering super teams. But with the Brooklyn Nets, James Harden gets hurt, Kyrie Irving, that was right the first time, gets hurt, Kevin Durant gets hurt all the time, so who knows? Blake Griffin, hurt all the time. Nuggets, I forgot about the Nuggets.
Yeah. Gianni, who are you taking? Sam's going to roll with the Brooklyn Nets. What team in the NBA do you think will be the 2022 NBA Finals champion before we move on here?
Man. NBA Finals champion. I think I got to go with the Lakers, my opinion. And then I think a sleeper, I guess you'd call them a sleeper team. I think the Warriors are going to do really, really well.
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about the Warriors returning to what they were. With Klay Thompson coming back.
Yes,
I don't know. That's just my prediction.
Klay Thompson, that's for sure.
You heard it here first.
Been rumblings that they've already looked to move James Wiseman for another NBA veteran to just speed up the process again. Man, I hope it's not the Warriors. I hope it's the Lakers because I think LeBron James
Thunder
is still the best player when healthy, and he has a lot to prove. And I think you put Chris Paul there,
I don't know.
You have to root for him.
Giannis.
You only say that because LeBron was still playing on a bad ankle in the playoffs. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Are we going to see another hashtag bald-headed nut post from LeBron this summer? You remember that? The bald-head nut?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it was like 2017 Cavs maybe. But he just posted a picture on Instagram. It was the bald head nut. It was a great post. We may see old head still got it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll see.
Old head.
LeBron will drop 40, 10, and 10 week 2 of the NBA regular season, and he'll do still got it or I'm still king. One of those Instagram posts.
He still has it. He does. It's in there. Chris Paul will go there. Lakers win. I don't know how the Brooklyn Nets are going to win because once you hit over the age of 30, you have 3 guys who have not stayed healthy for an entire year now, for multiple years in a row. I think it's ultimately going to catch up to all 3 of them, and Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. So we'll leave that there. Shout out to Milwaukee getting the finals win. Awesome to see a small market team win, and I'm hoping to see the same thing come NFL season. Sam, Steelers actually opened up training camp today, I do believe.
Yes.
And I believe the Cowboys are tomorrow because they are in the Hall of Fame game here in Canton, Ohio.
Well, I think actually the Steelers were yesterday.
They just opened. I do know the Steelers were the first to open up.
Cowboys would have been the same day because they play each other.
Yes. So
I'll say this.
training camp opens next week.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very excited.
I'm so excited for football to be back.
Oh yeah.
Before you and I talk about
I think
our
it was
team,
like 52 days away for Browns or something like that.
Something like that. Let's go to Gianni really quick. Gianni, your running back on your team is out for the year. Torn Achilles tendon in Cam Akers. For those that are in the ball pit, Gianni is a Los Angeles Rams fan. Gianni, now how does that change the outlook of the LA Rams?
It really sucks just for the fact that, he was coming off, a really good end of the year. Like he was putting up really good stats for us. He was an electric player. When he had like a big run or something like that, it felt like it just really just pumped up the team. So that really sucks. But at the same time, I don't think our run game is something that's like super crucial to our team. Like obviously I think it helps in any scenario, but especially this year, we're going to have a lot of excitement around the passing game with new quarterback and all that. I don't think it's as essential. We still have, some pretty good backups at the running back position, but obviously it sucks nonetheless. But is it like team breaking? I don't think so. But it definitely sucks. It definitely sets him back. I think Cam Akers is a really, really good player.
Yeah, fantastic young player.
It sucks. You can't take him in fantasy anymore. I know that was Sam's potential number 1 pick overall. So, another, Big Mike was already looking up. Big Mike already knows the 4 backups in LA.
Yeah.
They already know.
Yeah.
He already knows who they're trading for before they even make a trade. So you're already behind Big Mike once again. Listen, our Brownies open up training camp.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely
Before you start with
excited.
the Browns, I want to answer Anthony's question. Anthony Cora's question in the chat here.
Yes, go ahead.
He says, Gianni, how do you feel about Stafford? Like him more or less than Goff? Right now, obviously we haven't seen him. We haven't seen any, gameplay yet. So, you can't be 100% accurate on anything right now. But for the fact of just pure quarterback ability, obviously like Stafford better. I still think he's got a lot of game left in him. I think he's a better quarterback. Obviously, he's done crazy things in Detroit. Just his team sucked really bad. But I feel like everyone shits on Goff way, way too hard. People are way too hard on Goff. Is Goff a Hall of Fame quarterback? Hell no. But, is he the most trash quarterback ever? Absolutely not. Like, people forget that, he helped bring the Rams to a Super Bowl. Like, people just forget that. He had some bad years the last 1 or 2 years, but I think people shit on Goff way too much. I think it's definitely an upgrade. Stafford's a little more athletic, a lot more athletic. And then, overall, I think he's a better quarterback. He's more experienced, obviously. But I think it's an upgrade. But although I didn't hate Goff, so, I'm cool with it. And it brings a lot of excitement to this year, so I'm down for it. Now you can continue with the Browns talk.
Well, yeah, that's, I'm glad you addressed Anthony in the ball pit. So we'll address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the fact that the Cleveland Browns are a small market team and the fact that they should be the second favorite in the AFC behind the reigning AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs. They should be ahead of the Buffalo Bills. The Browns on paper are probably the most talented roster, at least in the AFC on paper, but that's why you play the games. 2019, this same thing happened. And that's why I don't like to get optimistic too much. But listen, man, Baker Mayfield has looked like he's in phenomenal shape, according to media. Odell Beckham Jr., according to media, from what they've gotten to talk about, he's in good spirits. Jadeveon Clowney is a motivated individual, which on the opposite side of Myles Garrett is huge. Nick Chubb might be getting paid here soon. Denzel Ward might be getting paid here soon. Everything is looking up for the Cleveland Browns. How do you feel? And after you tell us how you feel, we're going to open up the phone lines.
Yeah, I just feel fantastic. I'm so excited for the Cleveland Browns season. I'm like a kid in a candy store. And you ask any Browns fan, they're going to tell you the same thing. I mean, we haven't had this kind of excitement my whole entire life. As during my Browns fandom, it's always, Bernie Kosar this, Bernie Kosar that, and I couldn't care less, to be honest with you. That happened before I was even alive or even thought of. Before even my parents had sex for the first time. I won a Browns Super Bowl, and I won it now. I don't know. The roster's so good, Mitch. It's scary to think about.
One thing scares me about them.
What scares you about them?
And, like I said, like Mitch said before, I'm a Rams fan. I'm not a Browns fan. But, Browns is the Ohio team. So, I do obviously pay attention. I watch their games. I root for them. One thing does scare me about the Browns, and that's that Odell Beckham Jr. is on the team. If you remember, okay, you can say that, but look at last year though. I mean, Odell played.
Fair.
They did not play that good. Odell got hurt. They turned into the team that they were at the end of the year.
That is a
you can't look past that.
No, I agree. That's going to be the biggest thing,
Jason Prill,
that we have to talk about here. And as we already have our first caller who accidentally declined, that's a tough look right there.
But
You have to
you,
tell him to
you
call
see
again.
what I mean, though? Like, it's just like Odell scares me for the fact that the Browns perform better without him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a valid concern. I guess my one caveat to that would be I really think Baker was a different quarterback. Up until that game, it's, all of a sudden.
I think he was a different quarterback because he didn't have Odell
Right.
with him. Whether Odell, people talk about Odell being selfish or not. Do I think Odell was telling Baker to throw it to him more in the huddle, whatever? I don't necessarily think that. Well, it could be true, but I don't think that's the case. But I think that Baker felt pressured. Okay, I'm just going to say this real quick. I think Baker got pressured to throw it to Odell more because he's the big star and he's getting paid on the team. That's, all I'll say about that.
I think that's the only thing I need to watch as a Brown fan. And I think I want to hear this take from a first-time caller to the show, Jason in Virginia. Jason, thank you for calling. You're on the Cover Your Balls hotline.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing there?
We're doing great. How are
Long-time
you?
listener, first-time caller.
How are you doing, Jason?
How you doing, Jason?
Good to hear you guys. I'm excited about this Browns season, but I'm a little worrisome about the quarterback situation going forward in regards to the contract for Baker Mayfield.
I did see that.
And he's going to cost a lot of money, and we have a lot of young talent on this roster that I think we need to nail down. We need to secure. I think the only way we can do that is if we go out and trade Baker Mayfield for Drew Lock. He's going to come cheap, and I think if we surround him with talent and the weapons that we have, Drew Lock is going to have a heck of a career and put up all-star numbers, and he'll come at a much cheaper price. And the Odell situation, you won't even have to worry about it because Drew Lock doesn't need the attention. He doesn't need to feed into the stardom. Drew Lock is the perfect quarterback for us going forward.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
I'm speechless.
I
don't know.
Jason in Virginia is really making his mark here with his first-time call in to Cover Your Balls. We don't really have we do one show a week, so we can't do worst take of the week. Can we do worst take of the 2021 year?
Yeah, this is the worst take I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is a serious take or what. But
I think the scenario can bring up questions. You probably are going to have to pay Baker Mayfield a lot.
He's top five quarterback. You have to pay the top five quarterbacks.
Well,
Drew Lock has talent.
you are going to have to pay Baker Mayfield, and that is a concern because especially over guys that like you really like Chubb and different things like that, you kind of have to decide on. But right now, if you make the Baker change move, I think it kills a lot of momentum, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
I think you're just blowing up the team. At that, you might as well just sell the team if you get rid of Baker Mayfield.
We don't need to do that. I don't want to ever experience what that happened. Jason, so if they made this trade, all right, hypothetically speaking,
and I don't think Drew Lock sucks, by the way.
I think Drew Lock is a garbage quarterback.
Is it Baker
I think
Mayfield
he's got
straight
potential.
up for Drew Lock?
Yeah, are we talking Baker Mayfield straight up for Drew Lock? Do we get like Jerry Jeudy in the trade as well, or what's happening here?
No, it's straight up. They might toss in an extra draft pick or two just to kind of balance it out and make it a little bit more enticing on our end. But at the end of the day, guys, it comes down to money. And if you sign Baker Mayfield, you're really going to have to make some tough decisions about Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and Denzel Ward, guys that I know we want to keep on the roster.
I actually, I agree with you. I agree with you on that point. Yeah, that does bring up questions on signing different.
He's still here.
Okay.
No, we have
that
other
does
people
bring up
calling the
different
hotline.
questions. On who they can sign in the future and down the road. I do agree with you on that point, but Baker Mayfield, I think it only hurts you if you let him go. That's just my opinion. And I don't think Drew Lock sucks at all. I think he has potential, but is he the right fit like right now for the Browns when all the hype's around Baker Mayfield and all the hype's around that team specifically? I think it's the wrong move, but I do see your point. Jason, on they're gonna have some troubles down the road with signing new players. I do agree on that.
Well, here's how I look at it. Baker Mayfield, I believe, is a guy that cares about winning. He cares about the bag, but that's why he's in so many commercials right now. That's why he is the spokesperson for Progressive. That's why I believe he is a sponsor of Body Armor as well. Emily Roggenberg Clothing. I mean, this man does it all. He does it all. He's gonna get the bag, but he's not gonna be paid Pat Mahomes type numbers, Aaron Rodgers type numbers. He's going to be paid handsomely, top 10 probably, and he deserves that. But let's not forget here, Jason, the NFL cap rises an additional $30 million for every NFL team next year. So the Browns taking care of potentially Nick Chubb and Denzel Ward first would then have even $30 more million to play with starting next year. Does that change your mind at all?
Potentially, but you also have to think about a guy like Jedrick Willis. He's going to command a lot of money out on the market, and you need to secure the left tackle position. Most crucial position besides the quarterback on the entire team. They protect the quarterback. And if Drew Lock has protection, which he didn't have in Denver, I think he can be a really good quarterback and lead us to where we want to go without costing us the same amount of money. You need to secure the guys around him. He didn't have it. He only had one, maybe two weapons out in Denver. Now he's going to have a plethora. And I think if you bring him into this system and let Stefanski design an offense that fits for him, it's going to work out great, and it won't cost you nearly as much.
Okay, Jason, before we let you go, I need to ask you one more question.
Okay.
I need to know, fate of the universe, aliens had the laser beams pointed at Earth. 3-point shot. You taking Curry or Iguodala?
Curry or Iguodala on a 3-point shot?
Yeah, fate of the universe on the line.
Well, listen, let me break this down for you really quickly. I go to Liberty. Steph Curry came here a couple years ago, and for charity, they had him do a 3-point shootout. He took 10 shots, made none of them. No money for charity was made that day because of Steph Curry. I'm going Iguodala 120% to shoot that 3-point shot.
I want Iguodala.
Maybe Jason doesn't have all the wrong takes, and now we just found out that Steph Curry is a terrible person, that he made no shots for charity. Jason, we thank you for the call tonight.
Jason.
We really appreciate that, and you just educated us more. Okay, you take well and call in next time.
Put down
all
the
right?
pipe.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you, Jason. That was Jason, first-time
Great
caller.
caller.
I'm
from
great
Virginia.
caller.
Great call.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brought up some
So
good points. Yeah, I think it was a great call.
I agree, but now I'm just absolutely shook. Gianni, I think if I'm you, I am absolutely changing my finals pick of the Warriors next year. Steph Curry is a terrible human being, is what I just heard.
Doesn't like charity.
Meanwhile, we got Sam over here working with foster kids, and Steph Curry, who's a multimillionaire, can't seem to make any
I'm at least
shots.
making one of those shots.
Oh,
1 out of 10.
yeah, your sugar stroke Sammy.
Definitely not a Phil Mickelson who, in a charity event drained like 15 putts in a row for a charity. So shout out to Phil. We can take another caller.
Yeah, we're taking another caller right now. We go to it. He's not a first time caller. He is a long time listener, though. We go to Oklahoma City, where he is live with Bentley. We welcome Noah Denke to Cover Your Balls.
Hey, glad to be here. Long-time caller, first-time listener.
All right, Noah, what do you got for us tonight from Oklahoma?
I just want to say, Sam, glad to have you back on the podcast. Really missed you. Really missed your content. So excited to have you back. So I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed your time in Boston. But that Jason guy really got me grinding my gears a little bit. He kind of reminded me of an old buddy of Sam Summers and Jason Smith.
Yes.
Jason Doty Smith.
Shout out Doty.
But you can't just come in here and say you want Drew Lock, even though he got the horse cock and he likes to dance on the sidelines a little bit. But the dude's an idiot. But I wanted to come on here and talk about. We're not going to talk about Jason because we don't need to bring him up. I want to talk about how soft the Texas football team is. Not allowed horns downs anymore, and potentially going to the SEC with the Sooners here shortly.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's just what a classless move. The Sooners were obviously going to make that move first because they're the more superior team. Texas has never been back; they'll never be back. Horns down.
Not after that.
Also, what a sissy move by the Big 12 to say if you do horns down to a Texas player, it's a personal foul now.
But you can turn around and just do it to the fans. It's like, well, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Okay, you can't do it to a player, but what if you do it to the actual Longhorn that's there? Because they have live. Does that count as a personal foul?
He's gonna break out of the cage and fight you like he did with a bulldog in the Sugar Bowl.
Right. That's good.
He might get a little offensive down there.
Yeah, that's true.
But me and Mitch will be at that game this year. If Mitch pulls the trigger, we're kind of waiting on Brandon Ranke to kind of figure it out a little bit.
Well, I'm going to have to make some moves now after accepting some high school football games. I would like to try to see if I could still get down there. trust me, it's on my bucket list. But yeah, we're basically waiting on Brandon Ranke, who's actually going to be the next caller. He keeps calling while we're on this call right now.
He just doesn't understand.
Yeah, he just doesn't understand that the Cover Your Balls hotline only has one hotline. We aren't big enough. You have to have 4 different spots to hold multiple callers. But
yeah, I got one more. I got one more question. We'll let Brandon get on. This one's for Summers. Glad to be back, Summers. But how big do you think Pronk's cock is?
I would imagine Pronk's got at least an 8-inch dong. If your name is Travis, I feel like you're well endowed no matter what. So shout out to all Travises out there. Why don't you tweet at it? We're CYB Live Show?
No, at CYB Pod.
At CYB Pod. Why don't you tweet a picture of your junk at CYB Pod?
please don't. No. We are not responsible for anybody that does that. Wow.
And do both of you think that Chuck's still in hiatus?
I actually spoke to Chuck and Noble, Chuck Galletti and his assistant Noble, and they're doing well. So, Chuck Galletti, I know you're watching the show. Why don't you call in? We'd love to have you.
He's not watching the show. He's probably in jail somewhere for a DUI.
He's getting a DUI, yeah.
You guys get to the 100 subscribers. Maybe the new NIL bill that got signed for the college football athletes or college athletes. Maybe you guys sponsor a player. Ever thought of that?
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to
yeah.
sponsor a player.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do a partnership together with Stanley Steamer and Cover Your Balls.
Is Tyler Galt still playing?
Tyler Galt is actually out of eligibility now. We'll have to find a new athlete to potentially, maybe we should sponsor a summer team if I coach next year.
Yes.
By Cover Your Balls.
Yes.
I think that's the way to go. No, we thank you for the call as always, and you stay safe out there in Oklahoma. We'll be in touch soon.
Hey, Boomer Sooner and Turkey Penis in your face.
Wow. All right then. So now we just keep on moving on to Cover Your Balls hotline. Sir, if you're on speakerphone, please take us off. We don't need to hear whatever you're doing in the background. We go live to the car, wherever Brandon is calling us from.
In the car.
In the
Well,
car.
it took long enough. I've been calling for the past 25 minutes.
Well, Brandon, you got to be quicker than that when you decide to call in. How you doing tonight?
I'm great. I just had to call in after that blasphemy that I heard from whoever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And how do you feel about
I don't think I've ever
that?
seen a worse NFL quarterback than Drew Lock. Put that into his head that we need to trade him straight up for Baker Mayfield. It's absurd.
Yeah, I really had no words for Jason after I heard that scenario. I don't know why you would trade Baker Mayfield, who is leading us to a Super Bowl. I mean, he is Cleveland's Moses, for some guy named Drew Lock who's done nothing out in Denver. I know
We can't say Drew Lock doesn't have any talent over there. He has talent on the offense. That's all they draft for him is offensive talent. He can't do anything.
Yeah, they've got Noah Fant, Jerry Jeudy. They've got that Hamler
Portland
guy.
Sutton,
Yeah.
KJ Hamler. I mean, they have Melvin Gordon. They had Philip Lindsay. They got rid of him, obviously. But, 1,000 yards his rookie year. Pro Bowler. And you got this guy saying that we need to trade Baker Mayfield for him.
Hey,
I guess Drew Lock's our answer. I guess he's the answer.
Drew Lock could be the answer. I guess we'll see once we play Cleveland versus Denver week 1 of the NFL divisional round playoffs. It's going to be great when the Browns make the playoffs for the second consecutive year.
If Drew Lock was so good, why would the Broncos be considering to trade for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I mean, that's not the point, but why would they sign Teddy Bridgewater?
I was about to say, did they not sign another quarterback this offseason to back him up?
Yeah, Teddy
Or
Bridgewater.
potentially be the starter? Yeah.
That's true. Fair enough point. Anything else, Brandon?
I just want to give out a shout out to Noah Danke for hopefully hosting us in October. He said that I wasn't making up my mind when I have made up my mind. So I just want to give a shout out to him.
All right. Well, it looks like the ball's in my court. I'm going to need to text my boss, who's been only my boss for about 4 days now, that I need to make a request to not broadcast a high school football game on October 8th. So
Correct.
It looks like the ball's in my court. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to handle that. Brandon, I appreciate the call. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night in downtown Cleveland when we stroll in.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Pete Lips.
Yes.
Great Instagram account. If you don't know, I'd follow. That's all I got to say.
We're gonna give him a call here.
Pete Lips.
We're going to give him a call here shortly. We have a couple more callers waiting on the Cover Your Balls hotline. But Brandon, thank you for that shout out. Thank you for the call. I will see you tomorrow night in Cleveland.
sir.
What a weekend we're going to have. Isn't that right?
Have a good one, boys.
All right. We'll talk to you later,
Thanks
Brandon.
for the call.
Thank you for the call. That is Brandon in the car.
Yes.
Don't
Brandon
know
in
where
the car.
we don't know where Brandon was.
Yep.
He was in the car.
Yeah, actually, a little bit of breaking news here.
Go ahead with the breaking
yeah.
news while we get the next caller set up.
Lee Johnston actually just started sharing her location with me. What an honor! What a treat!
Well, that is amazing. Lee Johnston has shared location with Sam Summers. We now go to Daddy Mac.
I'm doing a quick screenshot. I'm going to tweet that out.
All right, we now go to Indianapolis, where I believe we have Daddy Mac again. Daddy Mac, how you doing?
Oh, hey, boys. I'm doing well. Sorry, I accidentally shared my location with you because of stupid iCloud thinks that all of the Johnson boys are Lee Johnson.
That's all right.
Well, wouldn't you technically be Lee Johnson since you came from Lee Johnston?
Yeah, I guess so. That is a good point. Came from my dad's gonads and my mom's you know what. So,
I saw Rob on Friday. Shout out to Rob Johnson. Looking good. Looking fresh.
okay. Where'd you see him?
I saw him at Church of the Lakes when I got home from camp.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, how was camp?
It was great. It was great. You were there actually, so
Oh, really?
another great week with Daddy Mac. Maybe maybe next year you'll request off to give your time to foster children instead of pestering the homeless all weekend. But hey, we'll see.
It seems like JJ and Steph Curry have something in common. It's
Yeah.
not caring about charities or the homeless or foster children.
Yes, I just haven't had the time,
Or the want.
Or the desire. All right, Daddy Mac, what's on your mind? Why are you calling Cover Your Balls? What do we need to talk about here?
You know what? I want to talk about this Kanye West album that's supposedly dropping tonight.
I think that's a great topic.
Yeah, it's a great
Yes.
topic.
You're
No,
on
let's
that
talk
before
about
the
it.
show.
We are a show that talks about sports and all the balls, but also entertainment.
We are going to have, well, I want you to say what you were going to say, but we're going to have a bet on the Kanye album, but continue.
Yes, Daddy Mac loves his Kanye West. You guys all know that.
Yes. Daddy Mac is a very big, supporter advocate for Kanye West. So we've seen this before, Daddy Mac. Kanye, sets a date up to release his album. The Life of Pablo took about 4 years to release, I think, because he just never released it. He's done this multiple times. Will Donda actually be released tonight?
I am going to go on the record on Cover Your Balls podcast and say that it will get released. And the reason I say that is because I actually have Apple Music, and I'm on that family plan still, even at age 70. Still got the family plan, so I don't have to pay for the monthly fees. But they are having a live listing event, and I'm going to be tuning in tonight. And I'm pretty sure that if they've announced that and that's scheduled, then I'm pretty confident it's coming out.
I agree. Mitch and Sam were saying, the contrary, that he wasn't going to drop. And I was willing to put my money on the line to have a little friendly bet between everyone that Kanye will be dropping.
Betting's not legal in the state of Ohio, Gianni.
Well, under the table. Under the table.
Well,
friendly,
it's not under the table
cash
now.
only,
You just released
cash
it.
only. Cash, cash
Sam,
only.
hey, Summers will hook you up with this bookie. I'll then have to say that.
Whoa! No names, please. No names, please. No names, please. Wow, what is this? Hey now.
Oh boys. Hey, so what do we think the Brown Throwback?
The what?
Hello.
I'm sorry?
Brown throwback jerseys are coming out on Saturday.
That is true. Throwback jerseys are coming.
I did not know
Download
that.
the app.
Yeah, you download the Cleveland Browns app. Daddy Mac. What do you think those jerseys will look like?
I think they'll look a little similar to the away white, but there'll be a drop shadow on the numbers. I believe there's been a leaked photo on my Twitter account that I've seen on Twitter. So I'm gonna roll with that one, and I'm hoping to get me a Baker Mayfield jersey here in that style of jersey. So we'll see what happens.
Sam, what color are you thinking?
White. All white.
People are saying maybe all are the orange jerseys coming out, but I think that's for a later date. I think they'll eventually come out with that.
Yeah, I don't think the oranges will be the throwbacks. Well, it will definitely be an alternate.
like a color off.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I'm actually excited. I'm glad you brought that up. I'll have to make sure I'm tuned in before I let the liquor speak to me a little bit. Saturday will be a very drunken day.
Whose jersey are you going with, JJ? If you end up getting one.
Baker Mayfield, most definitely.
Love
He's our
it.
guy. He's my quarterback.
What about you?
I'll be going with I'm torn. I kind of want to go with like a number 13, just because it's really cool to have Odell on the team. But I'm going to probably stay true to myself. I'm going to go with a 71, back-to-back left tackles. I've got a Joe Thomas jersey that I love the Don. So why not go Jed Wills? I like Wills Jr.
I would probably go 77 and support Wyatt Teller.
That'd be cool.
Or Joel Bitonio.
I love that.
You know, those two guys are a staple of this Cleveland
Why not
offensive line.
Shredder?
Well,
The linemen are the most unselfish players.
Joel Bitonio and Jose Ramirez, the Cleveland Indians, the two longest tenured Cleveland athletes. I already have Jose, so maybe just get Bitonio and have the two longest tenured athletes.
That'd be perfect.
You never know, though. Never know.
Never know.
Maybe I get
Never
Greg
know.
Newsome. Greg Newsome the third.
Oh, there you go.
Second.
Yeah, if he decides to sign with the team, he still hasn't signed his contract.
Well, I blame his agent. He's fired his agent. He's now hired a new agent, so we'll see what happens here. Very excited
Good
for
old Drew
Browns training
Rosenhaus.
camp. Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus.
Oh, yeah.
Bad agent.
Yes. But once upon a time, Daddy Mac was a Steelers fan, but he's now a bandwagon fan because the Browns are good again.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well,
next time you see Daddy Mac, you should give him a hard
Well,
time.
we're about to have something from Daddy Mac right now.
You're an idiot.
That was for Daddy Mac.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
That is for Daddy Mac.
That reminds me, once upon a time when my grandson, Bruce Drennan, went off on my grandson.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Reminds me of that one time. Yes. Yeah, he called me an idiot as well.
I would like to see the red receipts for that,
Probably
please.
because you're an Eagles fan. So good luck. I saw the Eagles are trying to talk to Deshaun Watson. Great place for Watson to go. You scumbag rapist. You'll fit in very, very well with the people of Philadelphia.
He'd be a lovable loser.
Hey, they have
Yes.
a track record of they signed Vic, who used to beat up dogs. So that they have a track record of that.
Yeah, why not?
It's actually very shocking, before we let you go, that you support the Eagles and a guy that hits and beats and fights dogs, yet you own a dog. Care to comment on that?
And Bill Cosby.
Yes, Artie and I had to have a sit down about that issue. We've worked that out. We have a signed truce between my corgi Artie and I. So there won't be any issues from this moment forward with us two.
And his dog Artie actually has a foot fetish, by the way. I experienced it firsthand.
I saw that he was gnawing on Mitch's toes the whole time he was in Indianapolis.
He has a foot fetish. What can I say? I got some pretty big feet. You know what they say about big feet, don't you?
Yep.
Big shoes. It's hard for me to find shoes.
Yeah,
nowadays,
you got it.
Oh, yeah.
You got it, man.
Daddy Mac, we thank you for the call to cover your balls.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be talking to you again here shortly, okay?
Yep. Hey, also, Artie just whispered to me that you should make an OnlyFeed account.
All right, thanks, Artie, for the call.
I can't confirm nor deny it. That's already in the works. All right, we'll be
All right,
talking
boys.
to you.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Daddy Mac, for the call.
Donda's dropping tonight.
Donda probably will drop tonight. Lee Johnson also just shared her location with me. Absolutely incredible.
Thank you, Lee.
Sheesh. Light the beacons, right? Light the beacons is right. Cover Your Balls hotline is still open, 330-417-4309. And if you want to call in, give us a take. You know, we had Jason from Virginia, first-time caller, tell us that Browns should trade Baker for Drew Lock. Interesting take there. But you know what? While we, nobody's calling yet.
I've actually got some headlines we could read.
Go ahead and hit the headlines.
Yeah, sure.
Here is this evening's headlines with Sam Summers.
Thank you. So this is, if you heard this headline 2 weeks ago, I went far back. We got a teenager in Massachusetts. She swerved out of the way to avoid hitting a squirrel, and she kills a family of 6. Just kidding. She hits a historic home built by an ancestor of Abe Lincoln. Who cares? If Abe Lincoln's ancestor built that, it's well overdue to be torn down. But if you're a teenager out there, don't swerve out of the way if you're about to hit a squirrel, a deer. It's just an animal, and you might take a human's life. And we're just animals too, but humans live longer, and you might get vehicular manslaughter. So hit that squirrel. There's a man in Michigan, unbelievable, doing a little excavation, a little home project, a little DIY. And he found 160 bowling balls and counting under his home. Turns out whatever. What I think it's, I don't know who makes bowling balls, but that's where their location used to be back in the 1900s. Right under his basement, 160 bowling balls, causing a little issue with the foundation. If you can go on Facebook and search Bowling Ball Man and follow up with that guy in Michigan, no names please. A naked California woman rescued after being lodged between two buildings. I guess the gap in the building was 1 foot apart. I didn't read too much into it. I don't know what she was doing to get stuck between the two buildings. Upside down, I might add. Naked and afraid, upside down, stuck between two concrete buildings. Luckily, I think it's people working at the body shop heard her screams. She was rescued.
Jeez.
I don't know. That seems like a fake story, but good for her. And I like this one just because they use the word maniac. But maniac punches carriage horse and then attacks two more in Central Park. This was right after the 4th of July. This guy is a maniac. He was going around punching horses in Central Park. Hey, buddy, why don't you find a... I tell people to go find a park, and this guy finds a park and he punches horses. If you're a maniac, maybe don't find a park. Find some help. Seriously, go get some help.
We got people in the chat calling you not a real Kent State Flash.
Well, you know what? Because the Who just called him out in the chat,
Pete Lifts.
we're gonna see what Pete Lifts is up to right now. Actually, we're going to go live and do flip the script right now on the Cover Your Balls hotline, and we go live right now to Columbus, Ohio. Doesn't sound like that's where Golden Flash would live to me. Sam, I'll let you lead this call.
Pete, how you doing?
Summers, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. So, why didn't you plug the account while you're here?
Yeah, so started a little lifting account for people that are less fortunate in the genetic area. Blessed with a whole lot of strong, fat, and love handles. If you're looking to lose some weight and need some motivation, I'm your guy. On Instagram at Pete Lift, and if you wake up at fucking 3 in the afternoon and eat donuts all day like Summers, I mean, hey,
Yes.
come over, follow the page, and I got something for you.
Yes, I eat like shit all the time. I actually had a drumstick blizzard, and I followed it up with a McFlurry from McDonald's yesterday. But you know what? I run around all day with FedEx, so can't blame me there. I bring joy and happiness to millions around the world.
I thought you weren't disclosing.
I thought we weren't disclosing where you work.
See, actually, I'm not. I don't work for FedEx in any way. I'm employed by somebody else. So, who does work with FedEx? So.
Okay. Glad you clarified that. Thank you.
So, how's Columbus treating you?
It's good. I'm gonna drop some breaking news here. I will be returning to the land starting in September, and I will be living there full time. So I plan on having a ceremony similar to LeBron's in Akron. I'm sure about 7 people will show up, but I mean it's more than 0. So
I will be there.
I plan on having that. Josh Goff will be there. Mitch Balla, Sam Summers, Brandon Rinke.
Gianni Capuano, because we're going to do a live CYB show at your ceremony in honor of you.
Oh, yeah.
And because you're so courageous and patriotic to have the ceremony on 9/11, we figure that's exactly what the world needs.
Well, actually, I hate to break it to you. But actually, Sam Chaney, I don't know if you're doing anything on September 11th, but if you aren't and you are interested, there is the best Kiss cover band in the world. It's coming to the Outpost in Kent, Ohio on September 11th, 2020-21. If you need plans, I'll be there getting drunk as a skunk, listening to some Kiss cover band. I cannot wait. I'm so flippin' excited. I've never been to the Outpost. Are you there?
Summers, the fact that you called me on this podcast to talk about a Kiss band is unbelievable.
I think what's more important is the fact that we cover everything. We don't just cover the sports balls or cover Sam's balls about his tweets, or even my balls sometimes about mistakes I've made, or Gianni's balls about how great of a producer he is and what he does outside the show, what is amazing creative content, which, by the way, plug in Gianni right now. Follow his YouTube page. Phenomenal what he does, but
Gianni Capuano on all socials.
There you go. Follow him. But we also cover Kiss cover bands. And it just...
Once I started a YouTube channel with Brandon Rinke and this character Tyler Mills, and we made
possibly the 3 worst blogs of all time. I was the owner of the account, and I deleted them all off the face of the earth.
I think I've seen
But
one.
for some reason-
BTS Pros or BST.
Yeah, BTS Pros, I don't fucking know what it's called.
Well, Brandon Ranke's still in the chat, so he'll drop a comment, whatever it was.
Yeah, Brandon, please. I have no idea what it's called. But I also filmed, I don't know if you guys are in attendance. I'm sure you won't. We weren't. But the Future Amigos concert was in the second row. And I filmed it and put it on YouTube, and it has 50,000 views. After all that work on the vlog, I got 50,000 views on a friggin' Future post.
Holy shit.
That is amazing.
Probably highly illegal.
Probably, actually,
A
highly
lot of
illegal.
copyright
A couple
laws.
copyright lawsuits
Yeah.
and
Probably didn't make any.
from
Probably
our,
didn't make any monetization on that video, did you?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah,
But-
you got copyrighted.
Well, you know what you can do, though,
It is.
Pete? What you can do is we already have somebody in the ball pit, and this can be the last thing, and then I can let you go if you're busy, because I know you got a lot of things going on right now, and we're going to start to end the show here. But a lot of people in the ball pit heard you say Josh Goff, and they were wondering if you could elaborate and maybe fill in the listeners of who Josh Goff is and why you brought him up.
You know, he's hard to talk about him without getting emotional, but he's high and mighty. He's about 5'7" in stature. Good guy. There's not too much to say. You just got to meet him. He's got a cranium on him. Took 2 balls right to the head. Didn't even phase him. The Lake County Captain's game, my old employer, of about 3 weeks.
Why were you at the Lake County Captain's game again?
I was not in attendance. I actually really don't know most of the story. It's more of Brandon Rinke's album, up his avenue. But I do know he got domed about twice, back-to-back years by foul ball. I don't know.
I do know the story. If you need to pass it off to me, I can tell the story.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm not too sure about it. I know the NBC boys love this story, and I'm actually not too familiar with it.
Yeah, so basically what I gathered from the story from a good friend Brandon Ranke is, I believe it was 4th and 5th grade. I don't know what elementary school you guys went to, but you guys had a book club, and if you read a certain amount of books or finished the book, you got to go to the Lake County Captain's game. Pretty good deal.
Yep,
if you ask me.
I sold that program actually when I worked there. I called it multiple schools.
There was no way you ever made that. There was no way you ever got that prize. You didn't finish a book ever.
I was a huge reader. My dad, before I started sports, was pretty much at. You guys know what Borders is?
Oh,
Borders
yes.
book?
Oh yeah.
Weekly Geronimo Stilton reader over here in 4th and 5th grade. I don't know if you're familiar with Geronimo.
I am very
he was
familiar
my
with
guy.
Geronimo. I might have to buy a Geronimo book just to feel nostalgic after hearing that.
All right, well, should I continue, though?
Go ahead, finish it.
Okay.
Because I want to know.
So Josh Goff, finished his book, and Josh Goff does have a cranium. Let me tell you, big head. What a character he is. And they went over to the captain's game, and I believe they're sitting down the third base line. And this is before the protective nettings were up, Sam. This was a long time ago. And a foul ball was hit, and Josh Goff was not paying attention. Took a foul ball right off the head. And just a tragic scene. Had to get medical attention. Luckily he was okay. But let's fast forward now. Josh Goff never gives up on his dreams. And what he did was he finished yet another book the next year in 5th grade. And as he finished the book, he was rewarded with another prize, and that prize was the Lake County Captain's game. And, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't put the blame on you. Well, wouldn't you know it and believe it, yet again, 2 years, for the second consecutive year, Josh Goff got struck in the head by another foul ball.
Wow.
I mean, you just can't make that up. Just a absolutely tragic scene once again.
What an unbelievable story.
Yes. He is inspiration for everybody to show you that, once you get hit, you get back up. And if you get hit twice, you get up a third time.
He's in jail now, I guess, Brandon Rinke says.
He is in jail now. We don't need to explain why.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate for him.
He's in jail. We don't need to explain why.
Probably got hit in the head too many times.
Well, that's probably what contributed to the decision-making that landed him in jail. But we're not going to get into specifics about why he's in jail. But Josh Goff.
Is he a pedophile? Yeah.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
Josh Goff.
Nothing but the worst, Josh Goff.
Getting a little dark here, boys. Getting a little dark.
It's getting a little dark.
Well, thanks for the
Cover
call,
your balls
Pete.
after dark.
Even though we called Pete, but yes, thank you.
Yes,
Pete,
thanks
the
for
call.
answering.
I was totally. I was working on some work here, and I got the call. I figured I'd take it, catch up. Haven't been able to tune in the last couple of weeks, but happy you call.
And in case anybody was wondering, the Jefferson local school has actually never been back to a Lake County Captains game since Josh Goff was hit for the second straight year.
Is that Jefferson local schools is a liability at those games? I guess you kept getting sued by them. Getting kids getting fucking hit.
Sheesh.
Just it's just good to see Jefferson finally had some integrity and stood up for themselves and the kids and stopped taking kids back. Also, shame on Josh Goff for probably doing anything but watching the baseball game, which is why he got cranked in the head twice. So, Josh.
All right, boys.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you for the call. Everybody
Go, Pete, go.
Go, Pete, go. Go follow his page, please, on Instagram.
Pete lifts.
If you're somebody like myself, bigger stature, hard to lose those love handles. I
Not genetically inclined, us boys.
Yes, that you know what? But hey, there's still someone out there for us.
Hey, I'll get you boys in shape once we get back. I got to get in shape myself, but we'll get some lifts in, Mitch.
9/11, starting 9/11, we're gonna really tear this body down. Is what we're gonna do.
Yep. We're giving a new name to 9/11 this year. We'll never.
It needs to be turned around.
Yep.
Yep.
It really does. Wow. It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years.
It has been 20
Well, I
years.
wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But
It's almost like Pearl Harbor at this point. It's like, all right.
All right, okay. Not where we're going with that. All right, Pete, thank you for the call. We're going to end this call right now.
Thanks, Pete.
I'll see ya.
Wow, that call took
Quite the turn.
quite the turn there that we weren't ready for.
Yep.
Pedophilia, 9/11, Pete lifts. What a call. Seriously. I mean, that's cover your balls for you. I mean, seriously.
It really cover your balls for you.
Yeah, I don't know if any other radio station has quite the lineup we do. But
I'm just waiting for an actual radio station and content manager to come after us and try to take the show from us.
Please no radio. Please no radio.
I do have a face for radio, I was told.
Yeah, I do as well. I just would be kicked off of radio very quickly. I think I would be out of the job.
Yeah.
So.
Sam, do you have a candidate?
I don't have a candidate. My headlines were.
I actually don't think
all of my
anyone has a
candidates.
candidate.
Oh.
I didn't get any pictures from you guys.
I didn't send them. I have two candidates.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I mean, we can transition to that and wind down the show here. We're at
Yeah,
7:52.
you can say them.
I think we should.
Who has bigger balls?
Who has bigger balls? My one candidate is nameless, and I'm going to give him a name. We're going to call him Grady.
Let's call him Josh.
No, we're going to call him Grady.
We'll call him Josh.
No, his name is Grady. He looked like a Grady. And when I tell you what happened here, you'll realize this is a total Grady move. Today, Sam and I were out and about in Jackson Township, and as we're turning onto the street that would get us into our neighborhood, which is Brunnerdale, past the gentleman in the car all by himself.
Yes.
A big GMC Yukon Denali, which are the big SUVs. You know, dude has money. He was in the car all by himself, and he had a mask on. Still,
Yes.
I understand COVID cases are spiking. I understand everyone has their own beliefs, but if you are in a car by yourself in 85-degree weather, and let's keep in mind it's an all-black car, black attracts the heat, so it's probably more like 92 in that car. Just don't understand the need for you to wear a mask in your car all by yourself. Take some big balls to do that because you just look like a moron at this point.
Yeah,
I'm just
truly.
an absolute buffoon.
Yeah, I would excuse the move like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because I always I forgot I even had it on.
Or if he was an Uber driver, maybe. If he had other
Right.
people in the car, perhaps I
guess he could have been.
No. Trust me, I did the double take because I knew right away when I saw Grady in his.
I don't even think you have to do that anymore in Ohio.
I don't think you do either. But trust me, I did a double take. I used big mirror guy over here when I'm driving my maroon Ford Edge. Shout out to Cinnamon. I did a double take. No Uber sticker, no Lyft sticker, light in the thing. His windows actually weren't tinted, so maybe he isn't as big of a baller as I thought. So Grady is one of my contestants for who has bigger balls because he is in the car by himself wearing a mask. My other contestant is Jim Harbaugh of Michigan. Jim Harbaugh today, the head coach of Michigan, who has yet to beat Ohio State in football, probably never will.
And just decided this year that they were going to start countdowning.
Which is bold. A bold strategy, if you ask me. Jim Harbaugh finally realizing, you're supposed to beat everybody in your schedule. which is actually, you know what? Because of that, and because Michigan just had such bad luck recently, and I know Mitch Farnsworth's in here.
Let's give him a round of applause.
And we're going to give Jim Harbaugh a round of applause because today, mark it down, July 22nd, Jim Harbaugh realized he was supposed to beat everybody on his schedule. And because of that, he said that they're going to beat Ohio State or they're going to die trying. And because of that, I heard tombstones are already being made because if Jim Harbaugh thinks they can even stay on the same field as Ohio State, he's a moron. Once again, a moron. Basically,
this is also the same guy. This is also the same guy who hasn't said anything really about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry until now. Now saying that, we're counting down to the Ohio State game now, and all this stuff.
Well, he can count down to the Ohio State game because if he's going to switch his approach here,
because we're going to beat you by 50.
50. Ohio State's going to die.
They're lucky they didn't play us last year.
I have extreme confidence that Ryan Day is going to do whatever he possibly can to try to put 100 on him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Michigan and your defense sucks this year, you might just want to wave the white flag again and say you have COVID or something.
Seriously.
Because it's going to be ugly.
I believe Ryan Day. I'm a huge Ryan Day guy, and I mean, we got to do it. Ohio State needs to do it. They got to put up 100 against Michigan. That's just going to end the rivalry. I feel if Ohio State puts up 100 on Michigan, we just stop playing forever. It's like, that's okay. You guys have the all-time record. Enjoy it. But we just put 100 up on you.
Either that or Michigan is kicked out of the conference for a year and goes and
They
plays.
should just join up with Michigan State, and maybe they'll have better odds of trying to beat Ohio State.
That's
Mesh the two teams together.
Little brother joins big brother.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Take, yeah.
And honestly, that still probably wouldn't be good enough. And
probably
so
a better take than our good friend Jason from Virginia had earlier with Baker Mayfield for Drew Lock. That was. So why don't we nominate Jason?
Jason has bigger balls.
Jason Prill for saying Drew Lock for Baker Mayfield. Pow.
Pow. I just wanted to make sure we got that out there. That so basically, right now, what we can do is just say R.I.P. Jim Harbaugh.
Yes, rest in peace, Jim Harbaugh. Rest in peace. I guess the whole Michigan football family.
Yeah.
Moment of silence for them. That's we're seeing a lot of young kids lose their life sometime in November, and that's not something I'd like to see. We're not going back to Vietnam. No, we're going to Ann Arbor. I think we're going to the Big House this year for Vietnam Part 2. So that's a shame. To comment on Grady, I know YouTube especially, really YouTube, Spotify, any of these platforms, they love when you say this. Don't get the vaccine. COVID is not real.
We're going to get this episode taken down.
We'll cut that. We'll cut that.
Frankie Lippold hopping in the
YouTube, that was a joke.
The ball pit.
That was a joke, YouTube.
Let's go Browns. Hey, you know what? Before we wrap up, I want to touch on one thing. And ask you guys quickly. We're going to call it a quick hitter.
Yeah.
Starting with Sam. Is Jeff Bezos overcompensating for something?
Yeah. I guess congrats to Jeff Bezos for going out in outer space. Classic divorced man move. If you're a divorced guy, what do? Oh, I got to start hitting the gym. Now you're eating healthier. Oh, I'm going to spend more time with his kids.
Probably going to yoga.
Jeff Bezos is spending some money going to outer space. Burning rocket fuel out in the atmosphere.
Not really design. You're telling me he's not overcompensating for something?
He's not really contributing anything to society by going into outer space, just filling his own selfish needs.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jeff Bezos, doing all you can to save this dying planet or to save this dying country. Really, thank you, Jeff Bezos.
Gianni, quickly, is Jeff Bezos, is he overcompensating for something?
Yes, 100%. I mean, come on. The guy, what was it, like $30 billion or something to put that thing in space? Probably more. That sounds low, to be honest. He went to space. Yeah, that's cool and all. Could he solve world hunger at a snap of a finger? Maybe. But hey, he went to space for 10 minutes, so that's cool. And he didn't even really go to space. It was just like on the cusp of space. But he is the richest man in the world, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. So that's all I got on that. But he is overcompensating for his small penis. That's why the rocket ship looked like a big one.
I completely agree. Jeff Bezos, you may be worth $205 billion, but you, sir, don't have big balls. You just have a big fat bank account, which I'm very jealous of. Hey, listen, it was great to be back for episode 57. Listen, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We'll do something special for 100 subscribers. Sam is back. Guys, we're going to try to get on a routine schedule here. We're talking about the dates, maybe Monday, Wednesdays of, every week.
Yes, every week.
And so just stay locked in. We'll be back next week for episode 58 of Cover Your Balls. For Gianni Capuano and Sam Summers, I'm Mitch Balla. Thank you for tuning in. See you when we see you.